Hey everyone, Richard Metal Fan here. Yeah, it's been about a week since I did a video, and as you can see, I sort of have shaved my beard off. I just decided to start off new, but if you could see, yeah, it's growing. Decided to just grow it back out. I just decided to start over, just new, fresh, and I've just been dealing with some personal stuff in the last week and a half, for almost 2 weeks. But yeah, that's besides the point. I'm still continuing the Slayer discography, and today we're going to be talking about Undisputed Attitude by Slayer. Now, this is the band's, I guess this would be counted as part of their discography, their seventh album released in 1996. And let's just go right into this. Now, this album is consists of like entirely of punk rock, sort of like hardcore punk cover songs. And there's like two of these songs are actually sort of like a side project from the late Jeff Hanneman that he did in like the mid 80s, around the time when Slayer was first starting out, and the last track on here is the only like original on the album, and which is it's kind of interesting. Like with these songs, I feel like Slayer kind of like takes them, almost kind of like makes them in their own in a way. It still almost feels like their own in a way, like I said, but also sort of twist it to make it sound like Slayer. But yeah, without further ado, let's just dive into this track by track. Heck, and this album is pretty short. It's like 33 minutes long, but let's go into it. First track on here is Disintegration / Free Money. Now, and which was originally done by the band Verbal Abuse. Who said, this opening track is just refreshing and powerful due to the first verse is like, disintegrate, you bastard. Which is then followed by a layer of like chugging punk riffs, as if I was like standing in like a punk live show. And this track alone makes me want to jump up and down and like bang my head like hell as a whole, and it's an absolutely invigorating song. And what maybe makes it even more of a surprise is that I had never had an idea that punk hardcore music would be this good, and I wonder how the actual bands would sound like, considering I've never really listened to any of these the original artists on here. But yeah, then we go into Verbal Abuse / Leeches, which is also originally done by Verbal Abuse, which I thought was it's a pretty good song. I love it. Then we go into Abolish Government / Superficial Love, originally done by TSOL. Well, and wow, it's just another good song. Can't Stand By You, which is originally done by Pap Smear, which is of course a side project from Jeff Hanneman, did around 1984, 85. Which is an incredible punk masterpiece, and also kind of funny to me for some reason, and I don't even know why. And then we go into the Dam, which is Drunk Drivers Against Mad Mothers. I just feel like that song title is just hilarious to me for some reason. I don't know why. I just think it's pretty good. Then we go into Guilty of Being White, originally done by Minor Threat. And I feel like the song is about like reverse racism issues in like the ghettos, and they deliberately change like the final line to "guilty of being right," and sort of like an example of extremely provocative sense of humor. I just don't know about you, but I sort of love the political incorrectness once in a while, and I feel like and Slayer has to have some controversy. Am I right? Right. Then we go into I Hate You, which was originally done by another Verbal Abuse. A pretty alright song. I like it. Filler, I Don't Want to Hear It, originally done by Minor Threat. It's just a really good song. Just insane. It pretty much kind of doesn't sound like a filler, but just really good. Spiritual Law, which is one of the most intense orgies on the album. And this is originally done by the band D.I. And I feel like it has a very mid-paced middle part. And furthermore, it's remarkable that this song, as well as the majority of the other tunes, are considered the necessity of the amount of like melody lines on here. And the crude authors of the original versions know their business, compared to with their working result. And the two punk-influenced creations by Jeff Hanneman, rest in peace, do not leave like a lasting impression. To play punk songs meaning more than killing your instrument within like 90 seconds. Then we go into Mr. Freeze, originally done by Dr. No, which features some of the most nasty and sinister lyrics that Araya has let out, with the most chilling scream that he's let out in years at the time, as he sings, "You try to think with reason, but all I could do is scream. In fact, I think his vocals are very fantastic on here, and I think they envision him turning like bright red, spit flying, veins bulging as he rants away with feverish intensity. Then we go into Violent Pacification, originally done by DRI, Dirty Rotten Imbeciles. That was something I would never thought got a chance to fuel my adrenaline, but this song is cool and stylistically insane with sort of like Araya's like crisp bass volume, perhaps unmatched to like the original band itself. And I feel like Jeff and Carrie are doing like their job in sort of like ensuring that their punk and sort of like inspired thrash sound never goes out of style. And then the riffs convincingly are suitable for the album, which it's like full-fledged catchy tunes. And the most are sort of like heavy and repetitive riffs with sort of like a bass solo interludes, which are apparently sticking out from the background. Then we go into Richard Hung Himself, originally done by DI. It's kind of an interesting song saying, well, my name's Richard or something. I just think it's an alright song. Then we go into I'm Gonna Be Your God, I Want to Be Your Dog, originally done by the Stooges, which I think is an alright song. And then the album closes with Gemini, which is the only original on here, originally done by, of course, fucking Slayer. Perhaps one of the slowest songs on here ever on the here. Can't even speak today. I'm sorry. I mean, in spite of like Paul's like intricate and precise drumming, are sort of like the abundant throughout the entire song. And as usual, the black flames of riffing insanity are thundering throughout the whole entire song, sort of like from the very beginning to sort of like the sluggish advancement. And Tom sort of like seems to enjoy singing the verses as well as the chorus with sort of like pure relaxation, as though he's drinking like a glass of champagne with ease. Now, overall, Undisputed Attitude by Slayer, it's a pretty interesting album. I feel like it almost feels like all the punk covers that they've done almost kind of like makes it as their own. So if I have to give this album a score, I'd probably give this probably a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. It's somewhere around there. But yeah, that's my review of Undisputed Attitude by Slayer, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. And I'll see you all in the next video, and keep it metal.